you see that?
Yep. What I tell you, jerkbait's the way to go.
Come here. It's not a bass, it's a trout. Stay tuned, we're on Merrill Creek. It's going to be a good one. Look at that.
That's it.
Nice one, yeah.
They're all nice. Any that bite, I appreciate them.
We're on Merrill Creek, and I'm here with my good friend, Roy Edwards. Roy, thanks for inviting us up here.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is a little special thing we're doing right now. Roy was out earlier this morning before we got here, and you found a load of trout sitting here. We're going to still fish for bass, but we're going to go we're catching some trout here.
Yeah.
Roy, talk a little bit about Merrill Creek and what we have. This is a beautiful lake.
Yes, it is. The facility is actually owned privately by several utility companies. Originally, the property was owned by Ingersoll Rand. It's primarily used as a water reservoir for the summertime when the waters run low on the Delaware River. They actually have I believe it's 700 million gallons that they actually let go to keep the level on the river at a good, decent level. They've opened it up, they've renovated it, they've made it extremely friendly for all the habitat. They've opened it up to the general public, put in a beautiful ramp, they put in structure, they've actually excavated. The water here reaches depths of 220 plus feet, and it's an ideal, a paradise here in New Jersey.
It's really a nice, and they have also other facilities, not only just for fishing, but
definitely
for hiking and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, there's a nature trail, there's a hiking trail. They also have a center up here where they show you the indigenous animals, the plant life. Every morning when I get here early in the morning, there's at least 100 deer. They're everywhere. They actually have a routine. They know exactly when the gate is going to open. They'll let you sit there outside the gate in line and walk right past your car, walk right up to you. As soon as the gate opens, they cross the road and come down here into the facility where they know they're safe.
for the day.
Yes, they do. Oop, there's another one, just followed me right up.
All right, let's catch some fish here.
And there he is.
Look at him.
He's still there.
Yeah.
There he goes. Here, little fishy.
Now, Roy, what fish besides the trout we're catching right now are in Merrill Creek?
Merrill Creek has a beautiful population, large population of smallmouth. Being as deep as it is, being up here in the northern part of the state and the temperatures that it has, they have great smallmouth population. There's a good largemouth population. Of course, perch and the panfish, sunfish of that type. They also have lake trout, which is a rarity in our area. Mm-hmm. But because of its depth and the constant temperatures, well, they can survive and they do well. They thrive here.
And that's one thing. Right now, what do we have? This is April, and we got 46 degree water.
46 degree weather, and you're in the mid to end of April.
Right.
And that's the norm. Mm-hmm. It's not because we had a particularly cold winter. We had a mild winter. Mm-hmm. It's just that's what happens when you're up here this far.
So that's why it'll sustain the trout then.
Oh, definitely. It's spring fed. If you use your sonar and you look at your equipment, you can actually see when you will hit springs coming up off the bottom.
God, it was a
trout right there.
Right coming off your bait.
Yep. They'll follow you right on up. When they're happy and they're active, and the spring is the best time for them.
What we're doing is...
Well, see, there's one right there.
Look,
oh, there goes another one. There's another one.
Oh my God.
3. There's another one.
We would catch smallmouth also on
Definitely,
these.
and that was my target when I came out early this morning, but seeing the fish breaking the water, I threw to it, not knowing what I had. There's one still behind it.
Look at him. He almost ripped my arm off with that one.
And it turned out that it was a trout. And I threw 4 consecutive casts with 4 fish. I said, well, that is definitely something I have to introduce you to.
We're out on this point here. Exactly what are we doing and why are we doing it?
Okay, we're out on a point that leads to the cove behind us. We're about 18 feet of water. Merrill Creek has the tendency to drop off almost immediately from the shore. From here to the shoreline, halfway, it's going to go up to about 8-10 feet. Stays that way. Right near the shore, for the first 5 feet, maybe you could actually stand. It'd be knee deep. After that, there's a first drop off, takes you down to about 8-10 feet. We're in 18 feet right now. No, we're in 25 feet, excuse me, I'm checking the sonar. We're in 25 feet already. And then it goes right out here to the basin, off to our left, 220 feet. What we're doing is we're throwing up towards the sandy bottom off this point with these jerk baits, and we're starting at about 7 or 8 feet, jerking it back towards us. The water clarity here is exceptional for New Jersey. It reminds you of the Canadian Shields. We're actually sitting with the boat 8-10 feet, and you're able to see the bottom. Now that's unusual for the Northeast, but we've got it here. And we're using jerk baits. They're suspending jerk baits. It's a retrieve, pause, jerk, slap, an erratic action. It actually looks like a wounded bait fish to the trout, I presume. This is a technique we use a lot on smallmouth. And I came out here this morning with the idea of targeting smallmouth, but after finding the trout being so cooperative, well, here we are enjoying ourselves.
Now the trout are coming up from, say, 15, 18 feet of water and coming up to hit our baits, right?
To hit ours, they're actually well below, I guess, sunlight's penetration. They're hiding out in ambush. They're seeing the jerkbait looking like it's wounded, sitting up there. And as I say, it's not a very rapid retrieve. It's very slow. They're actually hitting it 90% of the time on the stop. And as it suspends, because these baits tend to stay at the depth that we pull them to, as it suspends, they're coming up and hitting it. And there he is.
Moved right up onto the sandy.
Right where I said. They're chasing bait fish up onto that sandy flat, and there he is.
It's a nice trout there.
Thank you. Definitely a stocked fish.
Oh yeah.
They cut the fins.
Yeah.
Now some of the ones I was catching earlier this morning before you guys arrived, the larger ones, I noticed they had all their fins intact. So they weren't actually, I would not think that they were hatchery fish. There you go, buddy. Thanks a lot. Come back.
I'm sure there's got to be some
that have survived over the years.
Yeah, repopulation. There's got to be some spawning in here. I mean, it's got a perfect habitat for it. You got cold water. You got great bottom.
Plenty of food.
Yeah. Now you said there's lake trout in here too, Roy?
Yes, there are. Whoa! Oh.
Now the method of lake trout, they're just going to be trolling around here?
Yes, yes. I watch the guys, and they're using planing boards, lead core lines.
Well, they're getting down to 60, 80, 100 feet, whatever it is.
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, I was talking to one of them who says he does it regularly. He says he usually...
Look at all the trout right there. There must be 10 trout in front of us.
He says he usually doesn't start until he hits 100 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I believe they only... Ooh, one hit it again. Oh, there's another one. They only allow them 2 fish as a limit. And he says...
Look at all the trout following your bait.
Oh, look at them. A school of them. Jeez.